from the city of Miami that is available out there that you know of? And perhaps you can share some of the work that you collaborated with the city of Miami in organizing data sets or whatever is available right now. They want, by the way, the city of Miami wants you guys to work with these data sets. It is published, and we are collaborating with the hackathon as well, so you guys can present. We have digital twins on everything in between. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about civic innovation, what is it in Miami, how we are experiencing it. Can you go a little bit more on that, please?
Got it. So the question is, talk about civic innovation in smart cities?
Yeah.
Great, in the city of Miami. Full disclosure, City of Miami is one of our customers. So we're a vendor in the City of Miami. My company, DataGovs, we are stewards of the Smart City program. People always ask me all the time, like, what is a smart city? What does it mean? There's a lot of terms out there that aren't really clear. For us, when we look at smart cities, we kind of want to kill that term. We think of cities as already places that are smart. There's hardworking people in government working every day to make sure that their residents and citizens are served with the best tools. When we look to smart cities, for us, we think of things like the Internet of Things. And when I say Internet of Things, people always ask me, like, what's that? Like, my girlfriend who's studying to be a doctor, she always asks me, like, Greg, you say things in tech terms, can you simplify it? So when we think of smart cities and Internet of Things is, think about your Amazon Alexa or Google Home. A lot of these devices are things that you use and interact with daily, and they kind of digitize a service. What we're seeing in cities, what we're seeing in buildings, what we're seeing in vehicles is more sensors embedded into these different things. And these sensors are the same thing that power your smartphone. They have cellular connectivity, they connect to Wi-Fi, they connect to some Bluetooth connection, and they're always producing data, always sending data. And what's happening is there's a mass amount of data because everything's becoming smarter. Your smartphone that's sensing and doing all these different things, and it's creating what we call kind of a digitization of physical operations. Meaning, if I'm working with the city of Miami, and before they had to send out hundreds of people to knock on doors to check their water meter, today your water meter can be smart enough to say, hey, I need to be checked because I have this function. So when we think of smart cities, we think about the Internet of Things and how that's digitizing a lot of different operations. And with the city of Miami, we're working very closely to make sure that they have a great catalog of all the things that are bringing in data, not just at the community level, but internally. So what does that mean? A couple weeks ago, there was a lot of scooters in Miami, about 3,965, a little bit more than that from companies like Bird, Lime, you name it, right? You could probably see if you live in Brickell, if you're a Miami native, or if you're some other city. Cities don't just let these scooter companies come in, to some people's maybe disbelief. To work with these scooter companies need to have an agreement with the cities to work and operate. And there's an arrangement that happens where there's agreement signed between them that there's data sets and shared between them. These scooters all share data. And these scooters can say to cities, this is how many people have ridden them, this is how many people have used them. So when you think about smart cities, think about all these different things that you're seeing in cities today that are moving and collecting data. And what's happening is cities have this abundance of data that they can now use to monitor sustainability, reduction of greenhouse gases, safety. So the city of Miami, what we worked on is creating that into a glass pane where they can view all their key performance indicators and see how scooters are managed, how other different IoT devices are managed. We see innovation growing in the market right now with these civic innovation is more of these things becoming public data. So through my leadership of COFA South Florida before I stepped into this company, what we did was we introduced folks to public data sets that cities, counties, and governments share with anybody that you can use to build on different building blocks. The city of Miami has a bunch of different building blocks. They have building permits, 311 service requests. They have data on everything that you can name or think about from a GIS mapping standpoint. And this data is all public. Their tax money is paying to service all these different things. And what you can do with that is if you're a designer, a hacker, a developer, is take this public data set and work on an application that improves or look at the service in a different way. Through the city of Miami, we've been working with them for the last 3 or 4 years to deploy air quality sensors to look at air quality in areas that may have poor air quality that may be detrimental to residents. We've looked at flooding, right, where king tide may come up, and maybe if you're living in one of these places in Brickell or South Beach, you see a squid just floating around in your parking garage, making sure that those things are notified. So we look at these different things as part of like this smart city application, but all it boils down to is open data. And the abundance of data creates a lot of different opportunities. So that's what I think is like one of the big opportunities today happening in Miami.